Hello guys. So in this session, we are going to discuss a topic that have raised significant concern not only for India but for the entire South Asian region. So if you see recently, Bangladesh Attorney General have made headlines by suggesting that Bangladesh should consider removing the term secular from its constitution. See, as you already know, that the Bangladesh population, 90% of the population is Muslim, and if you see this from this particular context, that statement actually sparked intense debate, about the direction in which Bangladesh is actually heading to. So what we can do is we will explore the history of Bangladesh, and also we'll try to understand the implications and what this change could mean for the regional stability. So let's start with the Bangladesh demographic and religious landscape. Bangladesh is actually having a population of around 17 crore, which is predominantly Muslim. As I mentioned before, that's around 90 to 91% of the population actually following Islam. And currently, Islam is recognized as the state religion in Bangladesh constitution. But still, secularism is one of the founding principles of, Bangladesh constitution also. So state religion is Islam, but secularism is still there. And that's a duality, right? So this duality actually reflect the original vision of Bangladesh founding father. So that's Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who basically advocated for a balanced society with nationalism, socialism, democracy, and secularism as its core principles, like India. So now, if you look at the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and secularism, basically Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who's the father of Prime Minister, the ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, actually played a critical role in Bangladesh independence from Pakistan. And his vision was of a nation that embraced all religions equally. Means we are talking about secularism in this context, and ensuring that the minorities will get their rights and everything. So Rahman's ideals remain enshrined in Bangladesh constitution, and that's why that duality. So it is actually symbolized by the four pillars. What are they? As I discussed before, nationalism, socialism, democracy, and secularism. But the recent calls, the statement which is made by the Attorney General of Bangladesh to remove secularism, basically suggests a departure from Rahman's foundational vision, and actually raising serious concern about the erosion of his legacy. They might be trying to do that intentionally also. Now, let's look at the possible impact of removing secularism. See, guys, if Bangladesh were to remove the term secularism from its constitution, the impact would extend beyond just a word. Okay, so this shift could alter the constitution's essence, as secularism is embedded in the country's preamble, which honors the sacrifices made during the liberation struggle against Pakistan. So, see, such fundamental change could reshape the Bangladesh identity also, and that will affect not only its minority communities significantly, but also its standing as a nation founded on inclusive principles. So we have discussed about certain principles, which was actually the vision of the founding father of Bangladesh. So it is actually going against it, right? So now, if you look at Bangladesh constitution and the role of secularism, see, currently, the preamble of Bangladesh Constitution acknowledge the importance of secularism, along with whatever I have mentioned, that the vision of Mujibur Rahman, that is nationalism, socialism, and democracy. But these principles were intended to guide Bangladesh development and ensure that all citizens, regardless of religion, including minorities, felt represented and protected. So that was actually the vision of the father of the nation. Now, if you see, when you remove this word secularism, as we are talking about, see, Bangladesh is risking, about its minority population's rights, and it's actually a risk of alienating the minority population, and their rights may not be protected. And particularly if you talk about, I'm talking about Hindu community, which constitute around 8% of the population. And this change could disrupt the national, or social fabric, the entire nation social fabric, and it can also impact the harmony of the entire nation and the society. Now, if you see the global context, where Muslim majority secular nations we will be talking about, globally also, only a few Muslim majority countries basically uphold secularism in their constitution. And these are, I think, Indonesia is there and Uzbekistan is there. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, that region, if you see, that's there. Kazakhstan is there. Azerbaijan is there. So these are countries, they uphold this principle of secularism. Apart from that, Turkey is there and Senegal is there. Albania is there and Bosnia is there. So these are some of the Muslim majority countries who uphold, secularism. So that Stan countries, like except Pakistan, and Afghanistan, this Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Senegal, and Albania, Bosnia. These are the countries. Okay, so Bangladesh has long been part of this group. And that was actually showcasing the unique identity as a Muslim majority, but still secular nation. But removing now the context, in this context is what I'm talking about. Removing secularism would shift Bangladesh away from this group, and that will potentially affecting the international image of the nation. At the same time, the diplomatic relation between different countries also. What is a concern for India and the regional stability? That's more important for us. See, when we talk about India, as Bangladesh neighbor is closely watching these developments, and we need to watch these developments. And the two nations share a long history, and change in Bangladesh constitutional framework could affect bilateral ties also, particularly around the minority protection. And additionally, if you look at it, shifting towards an Islamic identity could influence regional dynamics and can fuel communal tensions. Okay, so India value a stable and inclusive Bangladesh at any point of time, which is better for both of us. As any significant shift, if you see, that can create ripple effect across the borders as well. And what's the domestic response? And this iconoclasm. Okay, so see, Bangladesh Attorney General, a recent statement that we were actually talking about, and the push to dismantle the status, and portraits of Sheikh. You see, before also we discussed about this, the statues and the portraits of Mujibur Rahman. Actually, they were dismantling, and trying to make a cultural shift also. So this iconoclasm, which means destroying or removing the historical icons, basically signals a desire to reshape national identity. So I told you already, Mujibur Rahman's vision was basically based on principles like nationalism, democracy, secularism, and all these. But now they are trying to reshape the national identity by even dismantling and destroying these historical icons also. And that is actually distancing Bangladesh from its secular roots. And this movement have raised alarms among those who see secularism as essential to the nation's identity and value. So that is already there in Bangladesh. Now, what's the conclusion? So, guys, Bangladesh potential move to remove secularism from its constitution could redefine its national identity and impact the minority rights for sure. And it also going to affect the regional stability, and its standing on the global stage also may shift, and it can cause significant impact. So what I want to know now is, what do you think about this possible shift in Bangladesh direction? Should a nation's identity evolve with its majority's faith, or should it uphold the inclusivity and diversity, respecting the minorities also? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So that's about this session, guys, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.